Welcome, Hyddenwell farmers. Last week we didn't have a lot of videos because we were out of town and I was just too busy with practice and farming and going out of town that I didn't get time to upload as much. But I did promise you a tour of our fencing perimeter when we finished it, and we're finished with that project. And so this evening I'd like to give you a tour of that and show you some of our future plans. This was our winter pasture. Over here we had pretty much all of the sheep wintered, and it did really well. I'm going to estimate that that is about 18 acres that they were on. And then over the other hills we have probably an additional 25 to 30 acres. And we had let it grow way up, and we had moved them into this pen late January and had let them graze it down, and they've used it. So now we've moved them, we've got the perimeter fence done, and we're going to let this field rest. We've mowed it, we've stirred it, and we're going to let it grow for a while, and hopefully sometime end of June, 1st of July, we will cut some hay off of it. What we want to do with resting it is not only allow the parasite load to go down, but let it grow up, let it rest. We'll get some hay off of it. The sun will also help to kill a lot of those parasites as well as foot rot. So, and then hopefully by fall, we'll have this ready for some more pasturing. And so on this side, this is the side where so many years ago, and I can show you some old videos, which I'll kind of put in there. We've got this whole perimeter and stuff matched off. Now our plans, what we're going to do is we're going to build a lane right here. It's going to be a 32-foot lane that runs all the way down. She's coming back with the thing. The 32-foot lane is going to run all the way down to the end of this field. It's going to follow this traditional road, and then we're going to build more permanent fences on both sides with gate accesses. So what that will allow us to do is run one electric main power source, electric source for hot wire, electric wire. And then the middle section, we can just divide up with electric wire and do rotational grazing with different paddocks for the sheep, so that we can keep them on a section for about 2 weeks and then move them to another section, and when we can just keep moving them throughout, and then they'll graze and clean a lot of this stuff up for us. Which when we get down here, you'll see already how that the sheep have cleaned a lot of this mountain and a lot of this other stuff already up, and they've only been over there for 6 days now. So that is our plan, is to build a lane, and then we'll also be able to use the middle section for working areas of the sheep and places that we can gather them in off of the fields as well. We're going to build a few hay paddocks throughout, some individual hay barns where we can just put like 150, 200 bales that will be in dry storage. And then we can also use those secondarily for shelters and stuff as we need them. So we're going to be building some of those in our sheep facilities as well. So I'd like to take you on a tour now of our fence, our perimeter fence, and kind of give you an idea what it looks like from different perspectives and what we've done to build that fence, okay? So let's go. If you'll look over here to the left, if you'll look over here to the left, I mean, it's common sense. Most people would know this, but you can already see where the sheep have been grazing and where the new grass is on the other side of the electric. And what we hope to do is get about another week out of this paddock. I doubt we can help it. She'll work it out. Hello, Ray-Ban. Hello, guys. Hello. It's not gonna happen. There's no way you're gonna let me get that close. Could get him up in there. Here to the right is some of our original fencing that one of the very first big projects we ran is this perimeter fence to cut all of this forest land and all of this grazing in here off from the rest of it. We wanted to cut all of that out so that the sheep could get into it, and we've slowly been cleaning a lot of the forest and stuff up, leaving the good trees and cutting out the dead ones. It takes a lot more labor. So right here we have a pass-by. These two fences right here and this, we can close those together and we can pass them through from this field into this field. It also blocks them off from the old landfill that was back there. Even though it's all buried, we don't want them back there jumping into all that stuff and getting into that. So they've already cleaned a lot of this up through here, but if you'll look right up this lane, we started over there against the woods. And yes, we do own to the top of that mountain up there. Up there in that corner, and it goes around. But pretty much this is dense forest. We've kind of pulled the dense forest back about 25 to 30 feet where our fence is. There was some natural stuff in there, and we're trying to slowly reclaim it. And the sheep are definitely going to help us. But we started right here, and we went up this way. So, just to give you perspective, we started down there, we came up this ridge line right through here. We're just following along that tree line right up through there. So this part of the ground right here on this hill and around this swath is totally unhayable. I mean, I guess if you had the right equipment, you could hay it, but there are so many rocks. And this is just some old reclaimed farmland and some old reclaimed land that was a strip pit at one time. And so it's great for grazing, but it's not so good for trying to raise hay or crops on. And the angles of it are really dangerous for your tractor. So we're going to graze it. So this right here is access, this gate right here is access to a mountain trail that goes up to the top of the mountain that way, and it also splits off and goes around the edges that way. We took our fence and we went straight along the edge of this ridge right here over to the corner. If you look back around the other way, you can kind of get a vision of the farm, how that when we get our lane built, we can take electric fence like what we're doing right now, and we'll have spots where we can quickly put up electric fence and take it back down. You can see the corner as it shoots back across that ridge right down through there, okay? It shoots straight across this ridge. We're gonna follow this ridge around. And since Miss Susan's on the back of the four-wheeler, I'm not gonna take it up there because that would be rather dangerous. One man can maneuver the perimeter of the fence and can drive the four-wheeler along it, but with somebody on the back, it could get a little bit precarious. All of this right up here, right where the trees are, is where the fence is, and it follows along through there. And we've tried to clear a lot of the trees, branches and stuff off away from the fence. If you kind of pan, you can see how big an open area this is back here. We didn't cut all these trees down, the wind cut all them down for us. We've just slowly been trying to clean it all up. We still have a lot of tornado damage up there in the mountains where the winds and stuff just snapped the trees a couple years ago. So we're still going to the right, we're still going along that fence line up there. It's still up there in the ridge, beyond those trees. And this is about as far as we could go back into the mountain. If you notice, the terrain right here gets really rocky. Well, we got all of these boulders. And I guess when they were doing the strip mining, they had stacked up tons and tons and tons of these boulders and stuff in here, probably as a way to keep water from washing everything away. But trying to reclaim that for pasture would be a real chore with little profit. So we cut right there. We went as far as we could go into the mountain, and we've come down through here, crossed over here, and then we shoot straight up that ridge. We go straight up to the top of that ridge, way up there. You just walk along it, it goes right up through there, goes right up to the top of that ridge. Right up there, that's where it ends, right at the top. And then it goes back this way, back toward the barn. Actually, this is beyond the tree line. There's actually a road at the very top of the tree, at the top of the ridge. There's actually a road up there that you can drive on. An old logging trail or path that's been cut, but it's real flat, and that fencing is actually going right along that road. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do our very best to clean all of this out, get all of this dead trees and stuff. We're gonna slowly work to get all of that cleaned out of there, and thin the trash trees out, and leave the good trees for future lumber as well as shade, erosion control. But we'll go in there and do a lot more seeding like we've done in the past, and hopefully get some good grazing going on that. I did not look for eggs. And then come off right off the tip of the edge of that, and it comes straight down this hill right through here. Put a pass gate through up here, and then it follows back down the hill. All in all, it's about 40 acres that we've got fenced in right through here. Area. It has taken us, for all the other chores that we do and everything else we got going on, it's taken right out of here to build it. If my children want it replaced, they can replace it. So there you go, Hyddenwell. It's a tour of our new fencing. Here's a survey of my 43 winglings that I have right now. Say hi, guys. Hi. Hello.